Welcome everyone. Thank you for your patience. Apologies for the delays, but good things come to those who wait. And I know you VMC members have been waiting for this indicator for some time now. So here it is. We will walk through it, show you how to add it. And if you're currently not a VIP, you can find the link to our Discord channel inside of the description of this video. All right, with no further ado, let's jump right in. So we'll start right here. You want to go over to your indicators. And if you are a VIP, you would already have this indicator added to your invite-only scripts. I'll just walk you through it, exactly like how you would walk through it. So first I'll click here, so it's in my favorites. Then I'll click the VMC Dozer beta and open it up. And here it is. And some of you would already know that we have Morpheus, which is our second indicator. And up here, what I've got running is Fu Manchu Swing. So the three indicators work excellent together to help you make very smart trades. And so what I would like to do is I would like to sort of go back a little bit in time and do some testing, so that we could see how the indicator works in confluence with some of our other indicators. And that way you would have the ability to do a back test on your own and figure out how this is going to be a good addition to your trading strategy. You don't need to change anything. We've set this up for our 24-minute time frame strategy, which is the strategy we call the perfect nines. Then I would go right over here at the top. You get the notification link for that right now, and you can click on that and go watch that first. However, I will cover some of that in this video as well. So once you've added it, you can go in here into the settings just to see what we've got. Spread and compression, there's two things that you'll have to play with. Essentially what they do is, I'll just do an extreme spread. So if I put 700 there, and you got to click here so that it happens, you see it spreads out this line, which really gives you no signals whatsoever. And also very similar here, for instance, let's say I select 1 on compression. You see it'll compress it really, really tight. So the higher the number, the more spread everything is, and the tighter these two numbers are, the more accurate they are. But with that being said, for this particular strategy, 7 and 9, which it does go in conjunction with our perfect 9 strategy, is what I'd like for you to use and what I've back tested myself. Again, the best thing you can do anytime you're learning something new with trading is back test it. So I do encourage you to go ahead and back test this on your own. So these are the two settings. The next thing we've got is the styles. So essentially the way that these styles work is you've got your plot, which is this moving line that is moving up and down. Then you've got your 20 and minus 20 lines, which are the two lines right here. And you can change the colors of those and change the different types of if you want dotted or if you want straight line or keep it as dashed. And ultimately, you've got some of the parameters right over here that you can play around with. The other thing is what I've done is with a lot of back testing, I actually give credit to some of our team as well at the VMC crew who have done testing as well here to see how this indicator works. They've been testing this for a couple of weeks. Shout out to Dank and Envy and Wu Manchu, of course, and the rest of the development team for testing this indicator out. So we've had some people running this, and they've definitely understood after some testing how this could be a fantastic benefit to your trading strategy. So these numbers here, essentially these lines are these numbers, and again, you can play around with the values and play around with the colors and create it to your preference. The concept here is, if you are in a, let's say you're in a short and the price is coming down, and once you start hitting the different levels here is where you would start considering taking partial profits or closing the trade, and vice versa. If you're in a long and you get up here into this area, this is where you would start taking partial profits or close the trade altogether. And we'll walk through some of that together, but that's all over here. That's what the colors do. And then the swing direction is essentially the middle line, which kind of decides where we're headed. So if the price is coming up and it passes the zero line, which is the swing direction, obviously we're on an uptrend, and you can kind of see that right here. We go over the zero line right there, and the price just went parabolic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over back in time, and we're going to look at taking some trades together here that we could have potentially taken, and to see why this could be a better tool or an addition to your existing tools, or maybe it's a tool that you would use on its own, depending on your trading style, depending on your leverage. It's going to be different for every person. So I'll just go back to here. Let's go to May 1. So if you don't know how to do that, you just go over here, Alt G, or you go over here and you click this little arrow, and then you type in your May 1 and you press go to. So now we will be fast forwarded to May 1, which is right here, 12 a.m. May 1. Okay. So first thing you want to do is you want to look, and if you're in the market, if you're brand new to trading, you're going to have to kind of you're going to have to take it really slowly here, but think of it like this, right? So if the price came down here, right, and let's measure this. So if, let's say from here, okay, to here, actually about right over here, or we could say over here. That's about 3 days and 20 hours. It's still continuing to go up, the price. So look over here at 59,000. That's 7 days. So that's 7 days of, if you look at, it's very easy when you want to figure out if we're on an uptrend or not. Just look, like, I mean, the price went up, pulled back a bit, but it's up, pulled back a bit, but it's stepping up. So it's like step 1, step 2, step 3. Yeah, this was a pretty big pullback, but up to here, that's sort of an uptrend, right? If you draw this as a trend line, you could see bounce, bounce. It's a trend line. It's continuously going up. So if you're on an uptrend, right, what you're trying to do is, if you're going to use Dozer all on its own, what you're going to hope for is to catch a bottom over here. This particular thing I'm talking about is if you were just to use Dozer on its own, okay? So let's say right over here, we draw an entry, okay? So the price has come down. This is the 75 level. This is the 80 level. This over here is the 90 level, right? So the price is kind of peaked through the first level, which a lot of times will reverse even before it gets here, but it's peaked through the first one and the second one. Price has really come down pretty sharp. The price can't just go down forever unless it's a complete market crash and we're going to zero, which I know most of you don't think that that could happen right now, and I don't think that could happen right now. So over here, we've got the price pulls right down. Okay, so we'll just mark a line over here. And so the price pulls right down, right? And then the price, obviously, you can't go down forever, so it's going to pull back up, right? So this was an extreme bottom. Of course, our perfect 9 strategy gave you the perfect buy in, but this actually, if you were to use this, you could have entered on this candle right here. So you could have actually entered this a little bit earlier, right? You could have gotten at 47.9, let's say 48, okay? And then over here, if you got in, you would have already been getting in at 48.7. So that's a big difference. That's about a 2% difference, actually. Let's see that. About just under 2%, 1.5%. So if you would have bought that, let's say you would have taken that long, you could have essentially, once this curved down right here, you could have exited, right? So that's kind of how Dozer would work if you're not going to use it with anything else, right? Let's say you're trying to just use Dozer on its own. That would have been a beautiful time to take a long. And the reason that I brought the first point forward to you, which was the fact that we were on an uptrend, is because that is only when you would want to really take Dozer on its own and not really look at anything else. I don't recommend it at any cost, but if you insisted, because everybody has their own trading style, if you're using, let's say you're using spot, well, you could buy this because it's dipped right down at the bottom, maybe on the next candle, even if you bought it, right? And you could buy it down here. And because we're on an uptrend now, you could essentially cash out up here somewhere, right? Because you wouldn't have to close it before or right around here when you get a pullback. But obviously, Dozer is moving on a 24-minute time frame. It goes up and down between these. Let's just call it these two lines, but there's mini lines in between. Now let's look at it with how it could work with the perfect nine strategy, because that's really what Vu and I have been trying to really push you guys all towards learning how to use the perfect nine strategies. Of course, there's other strategies in our group, but sort of wrapping your head around the idea of how could I just take quick profits several times a day, so or several times a week in 1% moves, roughly, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4%. Of course, Bitcoin's flying these days. We're back, I would say we're pretty much almost back on the bull run. I'm really not liking the price right now of Bitcoin at 41,344 because ultimately we do got to get past this level. We do got to get above 42 for me to be very bullish about it. Of course, it's been a great little pump up, but once we get above that, that's where I'll be feeling like we've got a lot of upward momentum. And you want to be taking these 1% trades because, hey, listen, Bitcoin at 41,000 and Bitcoin at 50,000, each one of these 1% trades are going to be worth a lot more to you because the value of Bitcoin will be up. So, all right, let's actually get focused here and jump right into the second half. So that was the trend based. Now let's look over here and let's say we're looking for a long opportunity, right? So you get let's say you get this long signal. I just pick this randomly right here. All right. So we'll put a line over here, right? And get rid of this guy. Yeah, ultimately we're above the 21. We're not above the 200. But here's what I would say to that is once you hit this yellow line right here, or the second yellow line, you've already lost the power of this move, is what I would say, right? So you could see what happened immediately. Let's say you took this long, and as you guys know, we always wait for the close, okay? Very, very important to understand that these are only to be regarded when they're closed. But, we get the buy signal, assuming the candle's closed, you're going to get in right here, okay? This pumped up 0.5%, and then before it pumped up, it pulled down, almost a full percent, and then it just went sideways, right? And look down at Dozer. I mean, it's just going sideways, right? Really, right here, you're thinking, hey, are we about to lose steam? We got a red dot. It's going down. We're in the red. You can't see past this, right? So it's risky, right? You take this, yeah, it did go up. I'm not arguing that it went up, but I'm not looking to really be risky in my trading. I'm looking for the most confluence. I don't mind risking an investment into a trade that could reap me, let's say, double my money or whatever percentage on my money that I'm investing or my coins, but I kind of want to have as many check marks as possible to take this trade. So with that being said, this to me is a little bit late. What I would have liked is if I could have got the buy signal, this don't use this example, we'll find a better example, but I'd like to see it here or here. I would like to see the buy signal. That one there's a little bit too late. And actually, just for argument's sake, let's say we took this long, right? And if you went and you almost hit 1%. You see the difference? So let's look for another one. Even though this did play out, it just took a really long time. We're not trying to sit in trades for hours and hours and hours. A 24-minute time frame. The idea is what I like to usually see is within a couple of hours tops. I like to be in and out of a trade, ideally in the next candle or the candle after that. So within 60 minutes, 65 minutes, an hour would be the most perfect trade in my opinion. So you want to try and find this when it's got a lot of power and juice into the direction that you're hoping for, right? So let's look at this guy here, right? So let's say like you took this long. Now look at the difference here, right? So the price comes up, right? And that's already past, it came down and it got a reversal, right? It's going back up. And if you look right here, you got from the time that it crossed over, or this is where it crossed over 1, 2, right here, and then 3, it's already crossed this yellow line. Again, in theory, I would not be super comfortable to take this trade. Of course, we could see what happened here. It went insanely high, right? We had this parabolic uh, candle right here. But the idea is that I'm not, again, trying to risk because there's going to be other trades that I could take. Now, don't forget that the perfect nines trading strategy has all sorts of other indicators like the pivot lines and so on and so forth. I'm not going to get into any of that right now. You'll have to watch that video. And then once you add this, you could be like, okay, I would have still taken it anyway. At least I could see here with Dozer, we're headed in the right direction. So right here, we're headed in the right direction. All I'm saying is right here, I'm already from the bottom up, or I'm getting to the sort of the end of this move, if you will. I hope that makes sense. But we will find an instance where this makes a lot of sense, right? So right over here, and again, don't forget Morpheus as well, right? So Morpheus, let's go in here. You know, this is the long right over here. That indicator that the buy signal went on. I mean, the price has come down hard. It's supposed to go all the way down, and then you get this buy signal out of nowhere in the green, and then it just goes insanely up. You guys know the manipulation that has been going on. I'd say for the last week, it's been a lot better. But typically, when there's insane manipulation, these indicators work. They do with good volume, especially they work. But just be careful. Back test, figure out the best strategy that works best for you, right? Here, for me, if I was going to use Dozer as a big decision making factor, I would not be comfortable to take that trade, right? Now we'll come over here. Now, here, what we've got is we're well above the 200. We are on the 21 EMA. So, those are two things to think about. Money flow, again, you're not able to see everything that's going on there, but let's just say that, we put this over here. So money flow is kind of down. It's not down here, but it's, heading down. RSI is heading down. VWAP is heading down. Momentum wave is starting to go down. So it looks good, right? You're on the line. Really, the next candle would be the smarter candle to take or after the retest. But if you went in on this candle and you would have closed at some point here, that's 48 minutes exactly. So that's why I like to say, within three candles, within an hour. So I like to be in and out of a trade. But here you go. So you got this sell signal. So we got the line crosses the white. One, right here's one, two, and then three. So it's still okay because we haven't reached the yellow, but again, a little risky. And again, if you look at the price action, you'll see that it was risky because look how long, if you didn't catch this, right, you wouldn't have been able to get out of that trade until here. Now that's 7 hours of agony, price coming up, wicking up above. You don't know what to do. There's green dots everywhere, So, I'm trying to get in and out quickly, so this has to help me to get in and out quickly. Otherwise, it doesn't really serve its purpose. But look right here. Okay, so there's the long. Look at this. Bang, right over the zero. Look at this, right over the zero. Right. So from here, I'm gonna zoom right in. I know you guys want to see this. I love zooming in, by the way. You guys know that by now. Without zooming in, it's hard to see what's going on. So it's here, the price, and then bang, it's over. So from here to this was a crossover, this line, right? Now look at this. Okay, so now it's crossed over and you get in, you took that and you go in here. There's your 2%, 1%. Hey, it's still great. It's great profits. Now, here's the cool part, right? So you take this trade and you want to get out of this trade. You want to figure out, when do I get out of this trade? That's what we're going to talk about next. So we're going to shift focuses from taking longs and shorts to when is a good time to actually close a trade. Okay. So for that, remember I'll leave that there. So we got in there, right? And essentially this is up, 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 this is sideways right here, and bang, right here would be really the time to close up the trade fully. Okay. If you take partial profit somewhere here, let's say you took your 1%, on a 1% move, you took 80% or 75% of your profits. Right here is where you should really not let the greed and your brain and emotion tell you we're going to go up to the moon from here. Just take whatever you can now and walk away. And let's see what the price would have been like, right? So let's say you got it here. You go up to here, you take that 1%, you ride it a little bit more, right? And either here or here, you're going to get up, right? So you're still taking the rest of it above 1%, but realistically, you know, the juice was lost, or you could have taken it the one before. Like you're essentially having to sit in front of your screen once you decide to leave some partial profits in or set up some parameters, right? So that shows you that you could have gotten out of the trade, and then the price does really come back down, and that's really what it is. If you include the wicks, the price does come back down, right? And if you look over here, so the price comes down, right? But it bounces here and it continues up. So what would the price have been right over here? Right? So the price comes back down, right? It's still at the same line. So don't think that this is a representation of candles price action up and down. This is more the power. It was losing power. That's why it just went sideways all this time from here to here. Okay, let's actually look at price action. So let's go from the time where it came down, and you could see the color of that candle changed. You start losing steam, and the bottom of that candle, look at this. This is Bitcoin, okay? $155 for 3 hours. That's kind of what we were down and up. Let's just call it $400. Like, I mean, we're playing with $400 for 3 hours. That's sideways moves, no volume. Indicators, look at the volume here. Horrific. This is good volume. This is horrific, right? So that's what you would have, you could have said, I'm gonna be that guy, and I'm gonna hold it until we come back to this line. I'm not even gonna close it. And that's kind of what you guys are gonna start testing, and tell us what your experiences are with Dozer. My experience is, once it gets to the top, I'm not a greedy trader. I used to be greedy. I'm no longer a greedy trader. I just want to take my 1% or 1.5 or 2 or 3 or 4, but I take the majority of my trade out at 1%, and let the rest ride, right? So right here, you would have really thought that this is it. We're going down, we're going down, we're going down here, we're going down here, we're going down. It's on a downward slope, right? And then bang, the price goes back up. And so let's actually zoom out and look for a couple of instances where there was a nice trade, right? So let's look at this one right here, for instance. Let's just put this here and zoom right in. Oops, zoom right in, right? So that came down, and look at this. Look at that cross. Look at the angle of that cross. Look at that. Remember, you can't see to the right, okay? Here, I'll just show you guys what I mean by that. Okay? All right. Look at that. Beautiful entry, and assuming you get the discount zone, let's say it's somewhere right around here, just eyeballing it really quickly here. You get in right over here, bang, okay? That's your entry, right? And now you're gonna watch. What I'm gonna do is, I'm actually gonna, just for a second here, I'm gonna delete Morpheus. I'm gonna kill volume, and I'm gonna make this bigger so you guys can kind of get an idea, right? And we're gonna watch this now. So watch this. Bang, okay? It's going over now. You're probably pooing yourself. Over. Now it's going back down. You see this? Now it's telling you we're going back down. We're going back down. You see that? Going back down. You would have got the full discount zone here, right? So let's say that's your entry. You're still on your entry. You gotta take a risk to have reward, guys. We talk about that all the time. Look at that. Bang, you already probably got that on that one right there. Let's see. Let's say we go from here, that wick to that entry. Yeah, there's your 1%. You close, let's say you close 80% of your position, or 75%. Look, it hasn't even gone down, right? Watch this now. Okay, it's still down. Now you're making extra profits, more profits, more profits, more profits. Right now here, you see it's starting to lose a little bit of its steam, but let's just keep watching it. Oh, let's see. Let's go like that. It's still going down. Okay, you see this right here? I want you guys to recognize this pattern right here. See this candle's thickness and the candle thickness of this? You see how both of those are the exact same height? You could put a line. Oops, I meant to put a line. You could put a line right over here. And you could see right here right over here. That's a fail. It can't get pushed down lower. Or there's a lot of buying pressure in that area, right? 53, 9,928 could be right at 54 even, right? But this is plateauing out. But again, you don't care because you've already taken your profits. This is just extra, right? So you keep moving your stop loss down, right? Or you could have a trailing stop, whatever you want. Or you could say, I'm gonna take 75 or 80% when I get one of these nice moves where we kind of came from the top down. I took a short, and I'm gonna ride this guy out, and I'm gonna keep using Dozer as a decision maker of where I get out. You're gonna sit in front of your screen for 24 minutes for each one of these lines. It's gonna take 24 minutes. You're gonna watch. You're gonna see what it's the best way to learn. That's how I learned. Okay, I put actual money in, actual trading, and I watched to see what would happen. Right. So let's go another candle here. You see, now it made it through. Right. Let's do another one. Watch this now, right? It's starting to turn sideways. It's no longer sharply coming down like it was on this one. Look, it's starting to constantly changing its angle to go back up. Look at that, right? So here for me personally, you do what you want to do, but again, I want to make the maximum profits guaranteed in a trade. The maximum profits that is possible to make without risking too much because it's a numbers game for me of multiple good trades back to back to back to back, compounded over time versus one phenomenal trade, right? Because if that one phenomenal trade doesn't go my way and it goes the other way, I'm out of the game. So I'd rather take small risks over and over and over again using a lot of confluence to get the maximum bang for my buck. And right here, I'm seeing a lot of losing of steam. We're sideways. I'm going to most likely, I would maybe put a stop loss here. Okay, I'll say I'll put a stop loss here just for the sake of this demo, but I would probably just close my position. But if I feel like, I want to risk this a little bit more, maybe there's some news out there telling us that we're going to go down more, maybe I'll let this ride a little bit longer, right? But look, you see how it's just losing. It's losing steam, right? So there is a high possibility at this point we wake up. You see now it's going back up. I mean, all you've done, right, by not closing it right here, right, is now you're going to lose out of the profits that you had another 0.5%. Let's say you're using 20x, right? You just lost another 5% for no reason, right? And so let's see what happens here. Bang, bang, and that's it. I mean, now you're getting a buy signal. You've just lost any possible extras that you could have had. So that's why I don't do it. And that's why Dozer is going to be an amazing tool for you because right here would have been perfect. So you could use this. You don't have to religiously only use it when it crosses over. But if you want the most accurate trades, you want to use it when it's crossing over, when you got, under the 200 and the 121 EMA, and you've got nice red money flow for a green money flow for a short, right? And you want to use this when you have the most confluence. So here is a perfect example where it was going down, but it was already losing steam. I would have not taken that based on Dozer alone, but on Morpheus, I would have taken it. The fact that, it's all the way up here and below the 200, that helps me want to take it. It's below the 21, that helps me want to take it. So there's confluence there for me to take that. Whereas over here, let's look at this one. Look at that. It crossed over, right? And that was a great trade to take right there. Look at that. Below the 21, below the 200 EMA, just crossed over. You get in a short. Let's say you get a little bit of that discount zone and bang, 2%. So that pretty much concludes the video. Thank you for watching. I know there's going to be questions. This is only in beta, but trade responsibly. Don't go all in. Don't get wrecked. Be smart. Think of this as, money that you can't afford to lose, and watch how you treat it and watch how your trading will change. Thank you once again for being a part of our community. Again, if you're not a member of our VMC VIP, please go ahead and register using the link in the description to join our Discord, and all the details will be in there. And we do have a promo running, which I believe will be extending. By the time people watch this video, you'll have another 24 hours. We're going to end it Monday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll be able to still get the suite of indicators, which is 3 indicators plus access to our VIP area at a discounted price. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support is very much appreciated. Bye for now.